guys? Welcome to Havisham Connection. Another episode. I go by the name of Sam, aka Sam Fitness Food. We've got a special guest today. We're gonna give you a different perspective of life. Before I introduce my guy, first let's just say another year. We're blessed, and guys, let's give it a round of applause. Welcome, Eyob.
Thank you, bro. Thank you. Mad love, thank you.
I wanna thank you for coming today,
Thank you for having me, bro.
giving us your time, and
We've been talking about this for a long time.
for a while.
I'm glad it's happening now.
Yeah, I appreciate it for coming here.
Definitely, man, 100.
And I wanna first of all, I wanna let you introduce yourself, who you are, what you do, before we get to the journey.
Okay, so my name is Eyob, or a lot of people they know me as also as Binyam. Yeah, so like now, I've been in this country for a while. Probably
Too long.
slightly someone's age in here. So it's been 25 years. So it's been a long,
Plus
long,
VAT.
Should I say? Just forget to put it to the side, man. So no, I've been here for 25 years, and my journey is slightly complicated in a sense. Like, I grew up back home, and I had a stopover somewhere, and then I came here. So it's been a long journey. I know, but we are here now.
We're here.
We're here. That's it.
So what they call starting from the bottom. Now we're here.
That's it.
All right. Do you know
We're
what?
getting there.
We're getting there.
We're getting there. That's
Today
it. That's
is
the point.
it's very important.
Yeah.
Message or education that we want to give people. A lot of people want to get to property. A lot of people want to do so many things about buying houses and selling houses.
Yeah.
And especially for our community, a lot of people don't have that understanding. I feel like we got the right person here today who can school us from the beginning, from your history, and to how you got here. And please stay tuned in. We're going to get into that space. First of all, thank you once again.
No
for being
problem,
here.
man. This is what I love doing. I love to inspire. I love to help others. Like, we create a different platform for certain things that we're doing. So yo, bro, you're doing great.
Thank you.
That's all it is. I follow all your shows, and this is the journey. And the journey that started is gonna go somewhere. And remember, you're doing you're inspiring 2-3 people maybe, but you maybe inspiring hundreds. So keep it up. That's all I'm saying to you. But yeah, let's go.
Bless up. Right, we're going to get into it.
Yeah.
First of all, Mr. Eyob, I know you're doing properties and selling, flipping them, but I want to go back. How did you first, let's go to the journey. Where did Eyob start his journey?
Okay, so in terms of my inspiration, basically, I can't go back to as little as when I was 7, 8. So literally, we used to live at sort of on a hill, and then there was a land below us, and it was open space. Now you can understand, areas it's open space. So you go to your neighbors, you just walk. You don't need to whatever. So there was a neighbor that was building a house, and literally at that time I was working. I was going to school in the morning, and then I was staying in the afternoon at home. And then my siblings, they used to go to school in the afternoon, so I was left at home by myself. So as in areas, you get looked after by your neighbors, isn't it? So, and then other neighbor, they were building the house, and I got to a point where I started helping them, passing the brake, passing the water, whatever. So it just stuck with me that I wanted to become what we call back home a geometra, which is sort of architect or engineer.
Is that Italian word?
Yeah, geometry is an Italian word.
Okay.
That's it. So but geometry is sort of a generic word in Eritrea. Is a guy who design and follows the whole construction on site. Whereas when I came in here, there was different roles: architects, structural engineers, surveyors, and so on. So anyway, so that's where that was. I remember vividly that I just wanted to be the guy that came on site and gave instruction to the guys.
So you had a clear picture from a young age what you wanted to be.
Exactly. So it's always been it's always been in my head that I was going to be an architect. That was my ambition. So then I came here in 95. So like as all we do, I was in foster family, and that journey was difficult in a sense. I was put in a sort of like a Jamaican family, so they were like a culture clash, but at the same time it was like very it was good in a sense because what they did, if I went to Habesha family, I think you would you would get lost because you get sucked into your community. So it gave me a different perspective. Whereas a lot of my friends, they went to Habesha family, I think because the lack of knowledge, because of the lack of integration into the society of the UK, they didn't have a better guidance. So there was a negative side in the sense like I was lost in a family that I didn't know. I knew they were Jamaican, but it just you just feel like no, I wish I was in Eritrean family because there was certain freedom that you give with Eritrean family and so on. So anyway, but the lady, what she instilled in me is Miss Hazel, as I call her.
Big up, Mr. Hazel.
She instilled in me this of the that I had to read. I had to she used to give me books every night and say to me, read this book. I'm going to ask you about it tomorrow morning. And and this book they used to be mainly like inspirational books, so it's so you they were like more inspirational books. So what happened is I start reading, and the influence is like you can only see it later. Like when you parentally read the book, whatever you feel like you feel like you're obligated to do it. But listen, everyone out there, if someone is telling you to read a book, read it, because there's so many things that you learn from it that will come back to you when you are at a later age. So
yeah, it is very important.
Very important. So to cut the story short, so I was studying at that time. I was doing my GCSE, so we had to choose our course subject to go into A level. So this is guys, is a true story. I was in Croydon Library at that time, sitting down on a table,
That's
big
South London.
table, deep South London. I was sitting down on a big table, and sorry, I have to make it about. Is a Nigerian guy or Ghanaian guy? At that time, I could not distinguish between the two, but I knew like a West African guy. Because
so let's picture this. You met someone at a college.
No.
Was it college?
No. Let me put it in a picture frame, basically. Yeah. So I was looking into the UCAS booklet.
Okay, UCAS is uniform to get to university.
Right. So basically, you have to choose a certain subject to the A level, so that gives you the platform to do what you want to do. So I was looking architecture, so I have to do maths and art and that kind of thing, so that I get into the architecture. And then he was like, I think he was like in his mid-50s.
Just a random guy.
Just came on my table.
Never met him before.
He comes and how you doing, young man? My English was broken. Yeah, I'm okay. And he started asking me questions. I was like, why is this guy bothered? It's like, why is he asking me? But then I think he clicked that I was looking into UCAS, and he goes to me, what do you want to be? And I goes to him, I want to be an architect. He goes to me, young man, I don't think you have the luxury to do architecture, because architecture takes about 7-8 years. If you're smart, do civil engineering.
Okay, before you go forward,
yeah,
explain to us what is the difference between
architecture and civil engineering. Okay, so architecture is a guy who designed the building and makes it pretty, and it does also of all the layout of the house and how it works. Whereas in civil engineering, it is quite a broad subject, but the main subject that relates to building is called structural engineering. So the structural engineering is what he was referring to. And he said to me, look, if you do civil engineering, you could do structural engineering. And structural engineer is a guy who make the building stand. In basic last way. So he designed the foundation, he designed the frame of the building so that people can stand on it and so on. So, and he at that moment, I felt, look, hold on a second. And then he asked me another question as well. He said to me, how is your art? I said to him, my art is crap. It's like, seriously, it's like, it's like I cannot do freehand drawings. And he goes to me, listen, boy, well, how's your maths? I was like, my maths is great. So he goes to me, look into it. He did not say to me, do this, but he said to me, look into it.
So you had a conversation with you.
That's it. That was a conversation. And that's
the key word. You had a conversation with you.
That, guys, changed my life.
So
changed my
the
trajectory.
guy sent from heaven for you, your
That's
angel.
it. I wish I could have taken his name number, hold it somewhere to thank him now. Because if I didn't listen to him, also that the other benefit, the other side is I listened to him. It's not like I just ignored it.
So what made you listen to him though? What was it that moment you think, you know what? This is the choice that I need to make.
Basically, it's you have to be informed to make a decision. Mm-hmm. And at that time, remember, we're talking about 95. There was no internet. There was no nothing. You had to dig books after books to find out where.
The kids are looking at us now. What?
Well, yeah.
What?
95, man. There was no internet.
No internet.
No internet. No mobile phone. You were lucky to have one, but the brick. You remember the Ericsson.
Yeah.
Fuck. Anyway, so it's anyway. Look, it's. So that changed my trajectory of my life, my career, basically. And then, so to make the story short, I looked into it, and then I did a placement work with sort of a building company. They were doing engineering. They had a different architecture and so on, and that they gave me more inspiration to do what I wanted to do. I knew exactly what I wanted to be at that time. I mean, I knew I would, since the age of 7, I knew what I wanted to do. But whether I was capable or not, it was a question mark because of my, to be an architect, you need to have great hand drawings, and you need to be freely wild. But by the way, now I'm a very, very good drawer. So I have learned throughout the whole journey. I have learned. I put my head into it. I learned. So I'm not the greatest, but I can do sketches and send it to someone, and they can build from it. So
they know what you're doing.
I know what I'm doing. That's the difference. If they can interpret my drawings, be it. But if they can't, then I'll anyway. It's
so you made that choice. You decided to go
into engineering, civil engineering.
Okay. So, for how many years was that?
So let me just trace back a bit, because the reason I do want to do architecture also is the fact that it takes long. It takes about 7-8 years. Wow. If you do everything right, and then the finance of it is what made me think as well. Because remember, you need to have the means to achieve things, and I knew I didn't have the means. I was I was in foster family, and I didn't have that many choice to to go back and say whatever. So it's to give my background is we know where we came from and so on. So anyway, just not to divulge into that, but I didn't have no one to back me up, basically.
So you felt alone.
Yeah, absolutely, man. You especially in London, is you feel lost.
Especially those times, it must have been hard.
Believe me or not, I had few friends, but the fact that I was in a Jamaican family, we had restricted time to get in and out as well. Whereas my friend in the Eritrean family is I'm going this way. That's it. He's got it.
But people don't realize how strict the Jamaican families are. Timing, where you going, who you going.
There's no joke. It was 8 o'clock. It's the way you won't get that jerk chicken.
So that must be shocking though, to watch of your system, to how you behave. It must be man. What's going on there?
Believe me or not, what is the funniest thing? It's I had a total freedom before, before I came in here. And when I tell you total freedom, I was trusted to do anything I want. I was more trusted.
So now all of a sudden you're in this position where you're on curfews and you have to report, answer to somebody.
Yeah. No, it was crazy time. But anyways, looking back, it benefited me because it made me more disciplined in different way. Whereas it's not sort of to say my friends whatever, but where there's a lot of freedom, and if you don't have the head to say no, that's enough, you could get lost. So freedom, it does not mean it comes with responsibility. So if you got the freedom to do whatever you want to do, then use it the right way. Don't use it. Don't abuse it. Don't go out or like day and night and so on. So, but like I think I was a level-headed anyway. So it's not like even when I got my flat and so on, I was still like I started grinding out what because I had objective to achieve what I wanted to achieve. So. That's it. So, and then within a year and a half of that time, I had a bit of little fight, I would say.
Fight? What kind of fight? Little fight.
No, basically, like we had argument with my foster mom, and she called me little shit African.
What did she call you?
I was like, the fuck, what do you call me? I was like,
She called you what?
Yeah. Anyway, it's like I mean, you know how they are. It's like it's not. I don't think she mean any harm. Is whatever. But and then I used it. I used it a way to get out of that house.
Oh, so you wanted to get out of the house?
Yeah. The next thing I did, I called my social service worker. It's the joke, man.
So he was using that to get out of the house.
Yeah. Well, I used it, but I wanted my freedom as well. It's like it was so dominating, 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock, and so on, and then the fact.
But did you feel that restricted your creativity?
I wouldn't say that, but I think at that age I was like, I just wanted my freedom, innit? It's like I wanted to go out and whatever. But then when I moved to the Habesha families, to be honest with you, it's like.
So you moved to another Habesha family?
Yeah, because I was still underage at that time, so. I moved to another family and total freedom. But I was like, damn, it was great. But the thing is, the biggest difference between the two families is guidance. The Eritrean family, they would I love them until now. We got great contact, whatever. But I think what needs to happen is we need to give guidance. We need to, of course, they gave me guidance and love in terms of what I do, whatever. But I don't think, we could say, they knew that. I mean, it was my lovely Samanish, by the way. It's the sort of the technical aspect of it, the guidance in terms of education and what you should be doing and how you should be doing. I mean, it was not their fault. It's as we.
So you went from read your book every day,
eat
your injera every day.
No. I mean, they reinforced the fact that I had to educate myself. That's given. She made sure that I go to school every day and so on. That's not a question.
What was the difference?
But it's that subtle difference where the process, for example, the process of getting from college to university. I had to learn it my way. I had to find out myself. So that process is quite daunting if you don't have the backing. And hence, it's I'm serious. We need to create some sort of a hub where, if anyone wants to become a lawyer, you can just contact, a lawyer. If someone want to become an engineer or structural engineer, I'm there. If someone want to become an architect, then we need to create some sort of hub within the Eritrean community in London where we could just put a reference to it and say, look, it's especially nowadays with also the social media access we have, I think we ought to create a space for the young generation to come through and so on. So, not to ramble on about this part of my story, but then we moved on to. So basically, what happened is, I moved on to. I had to change college. And you could feel the difference between the college that I used to go. It used to be John Ruskin College in Croydon. Then I moved to Kingsway College in King's Cross.
King's Cross, yeah.
Yo,
I've been to that one.
Yeah, man. It's rough.
It
so,
is. Wow.
Another thing I would say to you is, guys, is where you go makes a big difference.
Absolutely,
it gives you the process to go to a better place. Luckily, I had a good grade to get out of college and go to a good university. But if I'm going to advise someone, is go to a good university. And my son just started university this year, and I dragged him all the way to Sheffield University where he wanted to go, where his friends wanted to go. I didn't force him, but I explained to him, look. If you come out from Sheffield University, you're gonna come out in this space. If you're gonna come out from this university, then like you will be struggling. So like these are your choices. You make your choices, but remember is like whatever. And he's loving it now because he I think the fact that he just wanted to follow his friends, not follow. I'm not. Let me don't. He just want the comfort of having his friends around.
The comfort zone.
So it was like uncomfortable initially to him to go to a space where he didn't know hardly anyone.
So all of a sudden, live in the city that you was born and raised, going somewhere. So you need that friends around you to make you feel comfortable. I think that's what it is.
That's it.
But going back now,
yeah,
you pointed out you was about to roll out to university, and then this African guy came, gave you this guidance, he gave you a choice. So you went with his choice.
Absolutely. After I made my own inquiry about it, because obviously he inspired me.
Yeah.
But then I had to follow for it, and in order to follow for it, you need to tick boxes.
Yeah.
And what